So I started diving when I was about 11 or 12, and I was doing gymnastics and trampolining at the time, but there was actually a girl that I liked that was diving. Now, I was up in Newcastle and the pool was so cold, it was windy, but she was there, so I'd go, and eventually I fell in love with the sport, which brings us to today. So we're gonna bring you all the way up to the 10 meter, talk you through it until we send it. So currently warming up, got my synchro partner Shishing here, who's an absolute legend. Shishing is a former world champion, and we won the Commonwealth Games medal together in synchro. But Shishing's more experienced, so I tend to take his lead on what we need to do to get better. It's really cool because we've got such a big following on TikTok and YouTube as well. We've got over 2.3 million on YouTube, and I do post a lot of our synchro stuff as well. You know, Shishing's quite known for his dancing at the Commonwealth Games. You know, remember you dancing?
Yeah.
That was really fun. I love that stuff. But I think it's a really good way to show like the behind the scenes of what we do as athletes, especially as Olympic sports. Sometimes they don't get as much coverage, so we can share a lot of what we do in our own special way through social media.
I just wanted you to watch me dissolve.
So I'm one of the only athletes that competes in both 3 meter springboard and the 10 meter platform, and I actually went to the Olympics for 10 meter but won a medal at the Commonwealth Games on the 3 meter synchro. Now, I find they do help each other. It does make training loads a little more difficult because you don't have time to focus on one and take a rest day in between. You got to be doing both disciplines day in, day out, which makes it more difficult, but I find there's a lot more opportunity, and this kind of training really helps my 10 meter, and my 10 meter training really helps my 3 meter. And Matt Mitchum did both in Beijing, and he won a gold medal, so I don't think it's that bad of an idea. Some of my biggest achievements in diving so far would have to be making that Tokyo Olympic team. Then of course, winning a medal at the last Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Another huge dream just ticked off my bucket list. So everyone asks me, like, why do we have a towel if we're literally just gonna be jumping straight back in the water? Now, there's a good reason for it. And when you dive and you're spinning around the air, you need to be able to hold these positions really tight in the air so you can get around and finish that dive properly. And if you're wet, it's much easier to slip out and make a bit of a silly mistake. And the other thing is, when you are drying, it's also a bit of a comfort thing. You know, you can't hold on to it, you chuck it around. It's kind of part of your mental prep before the dive as well. So when we're up here on the 10 meter platform, this is where we've got to put all of our elements of training together for each individual jump. Now, of course, we all get a little bit nervous. You're sending it off the 10 meter, but it is good fun. And the way we deal with those nerves is you have these mental patterns, and what you're thinking, well, for me, I try to keep it super simple. So for the dive I'm about to do, I'm standing on the end, I'm thinking quick jump to get off that platform fast because it's really important for rotation. And then the only other thing I'm thinking about is when I come out of my somersault to check, look for the water, and hopefully your training will take over and you'll drop it in dead straight. So let's send it. Well, thanks for coming along to check out the diving program and see a little bit of what we do here in the pool, and hopefully you can follow along for our road to Paris. That is our next major goal, to try and make the next Olympic Games.